This full moon in Virgo looks like taking the best thing that we have and letting the rest go. Our dreams are in front of us, and we have to make the best use of what will get us there now. So if you're excited to dive into this full moon in Virgo and what we can expect as a whole, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that bell down below to make sure that you're always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. Firstly, I'm going to get into the overall vibe of this full moon and then some event charts for the United States, some for the world, financially, etc. If you have not already seen your upcoming April forecast, those will either be out soon or be out already, or your 2022 year ahead forecasts, you can definitely watch those. I'm Maren, if we are first meeting here. I'm an astrologer and also a crypto money loser. Kidding, I make measly profits. And I will be using the tropical zodiac and whole sign houses for the technical parts of this video. And by the way, if you want to use any of the links down below into crypto exchanges that I recommend, feel free to. I will get a small kickback, but they're all exchanges that are safe and I recommend. So let's get into it. This full moon is happening on March 18th, 2022 at 3:17 a.m. Eastern Time. The sun will be at 27 degrees of Virgo, opposite the moon at 27 degrees of Pisces. Full moons are periods of information coming out, of celebrations, of letting go, energy's high, and usually things appear. The sun is in the third or last decan of Virgo, the last third part, and it's associated with the 10 of Pentacles tarot card, known as the Lord of Wealth, and it usually demonstrates true wealth or true value, not some like bullshit flex. It's actually what matters and what true wealth for us in our lives, becoming apparent. Like we have reached a stasis of health or of wealth or of well-being where we can look back, take inventory, and be proud of how far we've come. The moon is then at the last decan of Pisces, associated with the 10 of Cups tarot card, which is actually the last decan, the last third part division of the entire zodiac. The 10 of Cups is called the Lord of Satiety, and it also shows looking back at the end of a cycle. It's generally seen as a happy ending card. There's a universal looking back upon all that has come and seeing the silver lining. There can be a sacrifice as well. Like we've seen how far we come, now we see what really matters, and we're willing to give up the more material or bullshit side of things and stick with what really matters. I think this is showing a full circle realization of what the main takeaway was for this first part of 2022. We are reconciling the macro analysis of a larger situation with the details on what we should take with us from that. It's this, whoa, I've suddenly gotten this big feeling and it's this, whoa, I'm suddenly nostalgic looking back at how far I've come, and this is what I can actually take away. The sun is conjunct Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune is a planet of delusion, can be glamour, can be dishonesty. So we might be putting ourselves, this situation, or someone else on a pedestal and over-dramatizing things. It's not so close to Jupiter to make this a huge, huge deal, but it's within 9 degrees, so there's still the Jupiterian wisdom guru quality to either ourselves or someone else. And the moon in Virgo is trine Pluto within 1 degree, which I think really balances this out. Trines to Pluto, or really any positive Pluto aspect, is great for conviction and holding firm on something. Neptune can be a bit drifty, a bit dreamy, so even as our idea of the situation might be completely just not in touch with reality, our plan of action might actually be pretty great, and we might stick to that in a dedicated sense. Venus, Mars, and Saturn are together in Aquarius, and this is optimistic and open-minded, but very, very tangible, because Aquarius is a sign of boundaries that we uphold in order to accomplish things. It's not like Capricorn where we uphold boundaries in order to protect or cut down. In Aquarius, it's serious, it's committed, but it's a fixed air sign. In and of itself, it is not rebellious. What is bringing a more rebellious quality to the way that we're proceeding is the square to Uranus, pretty tight, especially from Venus and Mars. So there's a diligent, focused plan of attack, but also a fuck you in there. And with Mercury and Jupiter together in Pisces, the intention behind our words might be really good. We might be very uplifting, very optimistic, and inspirational for others, but we might also not be clear on the specifics when we verbalize things, misleading others, and maybe overpromising. We mean well, but might be having a bit of word salad, and thankfully it looks like our actions do follow through, even as what we're saying might be just off base. So we're taking inventory, we see the larger picture, and we're ready to pick up where we left off with what matters for the next chapter. Even though, as what we say might be just overly dramatic and out of nowhere, we're acting very diligently. So if you already know where this might be showing up in your chart in the Virgo-Pisces axis, feel free to let me know down below. Would love to hear about where this is showing up in your chart. In the US's chart, this is right on top of its natal Neptune in the 10th house. So Neptune can be delusion or an ideal, especially in a government's chart. And the 10th house is the leader or the president generally. So we might be putting Biden on a pedestal or giving him like credit or praise or just projection onto him for something. And Mars is right on the natal south node in the 3rd house. So the south node is decrease or letdowns, and the 3rd house is media communication, can be news, like immediate news sources. So media censorship could be upsetting to people. There could be a kind of like major, like, why are you not highlighting this? Why is this being thrown under the rug? And then in Biden's chart itself, it is near his midheaven, which represents public image and legacy, you know, what he's known for in an immediate sense. So it could be the culmination or letting go of something with his career. With the sun on his IC, which represents home, it could be that his home or family life is highlighted. But with Venus and Mars in his 3rd house opposite Pluto in his natal 9th house, it looks like this could piss off international powers or be the ending or full circle of a more short-term or relative agreement that pisses off people in an international sense. For Bitcoin, this is likely a local bottom. Full moons are generally local bottoms, and with the moon fairly close to Bitcoin's Saturn, which represents boundaries, it could be a support level that we're at here and bounce off of. I think that we will get some sudden news catalyst in the days to come, given that on the 20th to 22nd, there's a Mercury-Jupiter conjunction on Bitcoin's Uranus. And Mercury-Jupiter is big, big good news. Big good news is the simple way to describe that. And Uranus is a planet of suddenness and volatility. So in the days to come, I do expect a news catalyst to pump price. For ETH, the full moon is sextile Ethereum Saturn, which is also a helpful indication of support. It's not quite as active as Bitcoin, but it's likely also a local bottom. So if you enjoyed this and would like to check out my memberships and courses, feel free to do that down below, as long with anything coming up that I'm offering. But do let me know how you're feeling about this full moon in the comments below. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in the next one.
There is one